Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. The first half is gonna be about the resume, and the second half is gonna be about the cover letter, and then we'll follow with questions. If you want to cut me off, if you have any questions, feel free to just jump over and say it. I can't really see the chat most of the time, or like if you guys are raising your hands. So sorry about that. So before I start, can anyone just shout out what the purpose of a resume is? I know that you know.
It's to submit when you want to apply for a job.
Yes, perfect. So it's just a summary of your education, experience, and skills. Like I'm not sure whoever said that what their name is, said to use it when you're applying for jobs. The goal of it ultimately is really just to obtain an interview. So at the end of the day, you shouldn't be like having very lengthy interview resumes, especially because you're only an undergrad, but because you're going to be elaborating on their skills and educational experience that you have in the interview if you were to get one. So it's just a sample layout of what the resume should look like that we all try and follow. This is what mine looks like. This is what many staff have in Toppel, or just anyone you talk to in the professional field. You can also find this sample. We can send it to you if you come in for job and advising. It's also on Toppel's website, and they have specific ones depending on what industry you are. So engineering, I'm not 100% sure, but like 90% sure that they have it for engineering on our website. And then can anyone just say what the required components of a resume are? So what are some things that should be on a resume that you know?
Universities you have attended?
Yeah, university should definitely be on their education. Yeah, there should be four. If there's four must-haves, we're gonna go through them. I want to see if you guys know them early before I get into.
Work experience.
Yes. Yep. Education, work experience. Two more.
Skills.
Yes. Skills, and you're forgetting like the easiest one, so they can identify you.
Your name and contact info.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So the first must-have, there's four. Name, make sure it's big and bold at the top. I've seen some people put it on like the left or the right side, but ultimately the recruiter or hiring manager is gonna go, the first place their eyes are gonna go to is the middle top. So it should be there. I don't suggest you putting your mailing address, only because if you're applying for jobs that are not where you live now, it may count against you. They may not want to pay for relocation fees. Phone with the area code, and make sure that you are updating your voicemail. Very important. It's very upsetting for employers when they have to call and their voicemail is full or isn't set up at all. So make sure that you are updating that as soon as possible. Email address, use your UM email if you're not sure, or whichever email you check the most, but make sure it's not like, I don't know, Juicy Sebastian or something. Like, make sure it's professional, please. And then LinkedIn, it's up to you, but make sure that the URL, you can tell that's updated. Does anyone know what how to change the URL on their LinkedIn? Do you know? Like, you can say yes, or in the participant thing, if you know. Well, you can always go into LinkedIn and change the URL just so the numbers aren't there. I know when you first set it up, it may be like random numbers, but make sure you're changing it because employers can tell if you have been using your LinkedIn a lot. Okay, so the second must-have is, of course, the university and degree. Very important. Make sure that you're writing it out. So, for example, I had no idea there were so many different business degrees, but make sure that you're writing out the whole thing because you cannot assume that the employer knows what a BS or a BA is. Very important. Put the graduation date listed. Now, I've seen it both ways. You don't have to put expected, but obviously, if you're putting 2025, you haven't graduated yet, so it's up to you if you want to put it there or not. GPA, you really do not need to put the GPA unless it's above a 3.5. Even if it's above a 3.5, you're not obligated to put it on there. And then, of course, put any honors that you have, which is Dean's List or any other honors that you're getting throughout the semesters. And we also recommend removing your high school information after freshman year. There really is no reason to put it after your sophomore year in college because you are already in the university. I see the question in the chat. If you're a transfer student, do you need to put this first school? This is up to you. I have to do some more research on it, but I don't think you need to put it after like the first semester. But it's really up to you if you want to put both. Don't see why you'd put the second school unless like you're still really proud of it. But if you transferred, I'm assuming that you don't want to put it unless you have an associate. I think that's also different. If you just transferred and you didn't get another degree, then I would only put the school that you're in currently. I hope I answered your question. Thank you. Okay. And the third must-have is the action verbs. Just the use of action verbs and outcomes and results. Oh, well. Okay. Well, this is very important. Something that I always see is just the lack of action verbs. There shouldn't be like I statements. Shouldn't be saying I did this at this job. It should just say exactly how it looks like here. Perform weekly stock assessments of whatever it was and put the outcome. Make sure that you're using the correct tense of the verb. Very important. So if you're putting something from high school, which maybe you shouldn't be putting anymore since you guys are in college now, make sure you're putting performed, investigated, participated, making sure it's past tense. And if you're doing it now, make sure it's present tense. Just being very mindful. And again, when you update your resume every year, make sure you're going through it and updating the verbs because employers really can't tell. Should we put the contact information from the intern? Can you elaborate a little bit more about that?
Oh, so for example, if you did an internship at a certain location, would you add that place's phone number or like the address of where you did that internship?
No, just put the city and the state. Don't put the contact information. That's not necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for asking. And also, if you want a list of the action verbs, or you can just honestly Google action verbs for resumes. There's so many. Use a thesaurus to look up like synonyms of words like organized or planned. The easy one just to make it seem, make it like vary and try not to repeat the same verbs that you've been using. Like if you have educated somewhere, it shouldn't be anywhere else on the resume unless you really need to put it. But highly recommend varying up the verbs that you're using. Oh, also and the last thing is if you can quantify what you've been doing, like put a number there, or really show that, okay, I've been assisting with this many classes or teaching this many students each semester, such as here it says reviewed 25 related research studies. Try and put that so it's really showing the employer that you've been doing a lot in whatever position that you were holding. And this also goes, I went over this before, but make sure you're using the correct tense with the experience, focus on what task was performed and who benefited, and industry keywords. We'll go over this later, but when you are submitting the job into the application scanner, they're going to be checking for certain keywords to making sure that you're matching it up with the job that you're applying for. Here's a list of action verbs. If you come to Toppel, we can give you a paper one, or I can always email it to you after. Or you can use Google. And the last must-have is skills. So you're probably wondering, what kind of skills can I list? I don't really have that much work experience. Okay, which slide? 2 slides. This one? Okay. Very good. Okay. So you're probably wondering what kind of skills can I put here? I don't really have that much work or job experience. Any, I'm not sure what the majors are in this club, but for example, if you have engineering, you have any skills like, I don't know, any software that you're proficient in, you can put that there. If you know how to code, fluent in any languages, I see the SPS is here. So for example, I know how to use SAS and R, so it's definitely a skill that you want to put there. If there's any skill certificates that you think would be applicable to the role that you're applying for, the internship, definitely put that there because that's what employers are looking for. Yeah, I can also email you the PDF of this after, if you want to go look at the slides after this. But everything from here I'm getting from Toppel's website directly. Soft skills, my personal thing that I do, like for example, I think I don't know, for example, like hardworking. If you want to have an objective statement at the top, not many people do it. I guess because I'm older, I put it up there. But if you want to highlight some soft skills such as like leadership, discipline, I don't know, diligence, you can always put that in your objective statement, which would be below the name and above the education. So that's another option. And if you're not sure what skills to put, again, look at the job description, see what they want in the position, and then tailor your resume to that. Okay, and here is a sample resume. As you can see, her name's at the top. I will say that I'm not a fan of how the name, the number, and the email are on the side. Again, no address, but it should all be shifted to the left, right underneath it, so that you can see it right in the middle. Oh, if you have any relevant courses, definitely because you're an undergrad, put that underneath the education. And yeah, exactly. We're talking about what the skills, putting the software that you know how to use, any activities and awards during this club, definitely put that there. If you had any leadership experiences in those clubs, I would definitely put that underneath there too. This is what a sample should look like. I'm not sure if I went over it before. I think it's next slide, but your resume should really only be a 1 page in undergrad. When you're applying to graduate school, like in graduate school, then maybe you can go to 2 pages, but for right now, it should really be 1 page because you should be removing everything from high school. And this is just the format checklist, so then 1 and 2 pages. The font, trying to do 10 to 12 point, and I personally would use Times New Roman or Arial, just because it's easier on the eyes to read, make sure your margins are correct, single space with double spacing between each section. And then consistency, as you can see on the left, look at how all the bullet points are structured. I know sometimes when you're adding things in, taking stuff out, the bullet points kind of shift, but really make sure you're looking at it after you edited everything and making sure the bullet points are all in one line. And then lastly, I think make sure you're saving everything as a PDF with your name and the file name when you're submitting to jobs. So do not submit as a Word document. When you're editing it, of course, like you can use a Word document, but when you're saving it to send to employers, always send as a PDF because you don't know if they have Word, you don't know if they use Google Docs or something, the formatting is gonna be completely off, and I've seen it so many times. Try to have a master resume. So again, if you want to keep some high school things there, that's okay, but have a master resume, and then when you're applying to jobs, like take stuff off, put stuff on, and then make sure you're always updating at least every 6 months or every semester or however often you think is appropriate. Check for spelling and grammatical errors, maybe have someone else read over it. I know when you read stuff a lot yourself, you kind of miss things, but just making sure you're checking for that. Come to Toppel, of course. We want to help you. Our career coaches have a lot of training on resume and cover letter skills, so they are honestly as well trained as I am on helping you with yours. If you want to apply for jobs on Handshake, you really need to, you have no choice, honestly, but you have to submit your resume there first, and then also the career coaches or Toppel staff will be reviewing it to approve so that you can apply to jobs, and they'll give you critiques there. And then lastly, don't list references at the bottom or say references upon request on the resume for the most part. And like, in my opinion, employers will ask for resumes before they offer you the job, which will be later in the process after even the interview. So there's no reason to put references on the resume before that. This is what I was going over before. It's pretty cool, but we have a I guess like software on Toppel's website that you can use job scans. So you put your resume in on the left, and then you put the job description, copy and paste that on the right, and then you can see how many words, how many keywords you, I guess, matched up with the job you're applying for. And this can kind of be a test to see if you're going to get a call back or an interview or getting your foot in the door, because they're seeing if you're actually meeting the requirements before they take their time with you, take their time on it. Any questions so far? Yeah, if you're a junior or senior, I would not put high school things there unless you did something like extra amazing, like you have a publication or like research, or I don't know if it's just that relevant to whatever you're applying for. But I wouldn't keep anything from high school there if you were a junior or senior. And now we're gonna start the cover letters. So can anyone tell me what is the purpose of a cover letter?
Is it to like show why you're interested in the position?
Yeah, perfect. So this is just what it's about. That's exactly what it's just to see how interested you are in the position, and really not without copying and pasting your resume, really thoroughly explaining why you're a fit for the job and how your skills in college or the job that you're in are applicable to the field you're trying to get into. So you need to, the formatting is very important. It's kind of like a letter. I know it's been a while since some people have written like handwritten letters, but so there's three, they try and break it down to 3 or 4 parts, so 3 or 4 paragraphs, but the first part is the intro. I was trying to frame it like you're gassing the company up, so you're really doing your research on them, looking at the mission and vision statements, saying why you're interested about the position, where you saw the position, really just making them know that you did your research before you apply for the job. The body, we're gonna look into this later, but it's really how you will contribute based on past experience without copy and pasting. You're supposed to be elaborating on the skills that you have and how you'll be an asset to the company. Lastly, just gonna be a conclusion. It should be really short, thanking them for the opportunity, putting your contact information, and saying you look forward to the next steps. It should only be 1 page. The cover letter should definitely not be 2 pages. Honestly, I would try and keep it to 3 paragraphs, maybe 4, but definitely don't let it run on because it shouldn't be long. You already have the resume. And again, these 2 together are just to get your foot in the door to get an interview. That's the main goal of it. So this is how the heading should look. It should have the date. If you're not sure who to write to, you may have to do a little bit of research. You can go on LinkedIn. I've seen people do that, looking at who the hiring manager is. If you're not sure, just put dear hiring manager, or like if they have supervisor, they can put their name, but their title. Again, if you're not sure, just put dear hiring manager, company name, address. Again, you don't have to put that, and who it's to. So the first paragraph should state the position that you're applying for, put where you found out about it. That really matters. Maybe if you, for example, we're having job and internship expo, if you met them at job and internship expo, definitely put that in the first paragraph. Focus on why you're interested in the company. So something that I like to do is really looking at the mission and vision statement of the company, if you can find it, and like picking out words and saying, I really enjoyed how you're committed to sustainable development. That's one of my passions in life, and putting that there, so you're grabbing their attention, making them know that you did your research beforehand. The second paragraph, sorry, I'm gonna move my it should really highlight the specific skills that will be useful to the employer by looking skills are mentioned in the job posting. I really want to emphasize that you should not be repeating the resume content. So if you put a really good bullet point about something in your resume, maybe you can copy it, but you should be elaborating, giving specific examples of how you have demonstrated that here and writing it out, being very thorough, so they can it's very clear about what you've done. So I wanted to pick out like one of the sentences here, but for example, when it says, as a primary point of contact for all 80 volunteers, I manage problems and respond to questions as they arose. what he did here, he quantified it, he said what he did, and then he's saying that how this will make him a valuable asset to the company. It's exactly what we're supposed to be doing, elaborating and explaining how you will really bring the companies to a new level, how you're going to help them level up. Lastly, the third paragraph, you should be talking about your next steps, thank them for the opportunity, include your phone and your email there. Even the phone and email you may not have to put because it should be on your resume, but really up to you, but just making sure you're thanking them at the end of it. Okay. And if you have any questions, I know I talk very fast. Feel free to just talk over me and open up the chat. Is there a question?
Oh, I have a question. So
Yeah.
should I include a cover letter if the application says that it's optional?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. In my opinion, I don't like writing cover letters, so if it says optional, I will not submit it. But if they ask for it, of course you should. Oh, sorry. And if it's really up to you, if you like writing cover letters, then definitely do. If you really want the job, write it. I did not write a cover letter for this job, and I got here. So it's up to you. But if it says it's optional, you don't have to. But understand that it may elevate you to get your foot in the door to get an interview after, but it's really up to you. If your resume is good enough, you may not need a cover letter. Oh, and then my last point was I also have an objective statement in my resume. So I don't have a cover letter because my objective statement is like pretty much says what I would put in like the body of my in the second body of my cover letter.
I was actually going to ask if you could give an example of the objective statement. Like you said,
Yeah, I'll show you mine actually. Give me 1 second.
Also, we
Or you
have
can
a question in the chat.
Mhm.
They're asking for the resume, do I have to put my address?
No, so I'm not sure if you joined late, but the address, we recommend not putting it because if you're applying for jobs that are out of state, they may not call you back for an interview because they don't want to pay relocation fees. So example, you go to school in Miami, but you put your address of like New Jersey. I would not recommend doing that because they may say, oh, I don't want to worry about paying them more. Wrong screen. So now I'm not going to give them an interview at all. So we just recommend leaving it out from the get-go. So as you can see here, this is my objective statement and it's pretty lengthy. So I don't have a cover letter, but if it's required on the job, then of course I'm going to write one. But because I have this, I don't write cover letters when I apply for jobs.
so do you tailor your objective depending upon the job you're applying to, or you just keep it the same for every single application?
Yeah, it depends if you're doing if you're not really doing a career switch, but what industry you're trying to get into. So I was applying to jobs in higher ed, so that's why my cover letter is a little bit like if you can see here, I talk about recruitment, social media communications, programming management, which is skills that you need to work in higher ed. So I would just do a quick search of what skills are needed for the industry that you are into, that you're trying to get into, and then tailor it that way.
Thank
Does
you.
that answer your question? Sorry.
Yeah, it really did. No, that was perfect. Thank you.
Okay, and then yeah, you can use your school email or your personal email as long as it's like professional. So that email that I have on my resume, I just made it specifically for jobs. That's why it's not my one. But if you don't check your email a lot, or you're not sure if you're gonna have it in a few years, which you will because alumni get to keep their emails. Yeah, it's up to you. Just make sure it's professional. It shouldn't be like Sebastian is juicy because that's very unprofessional. And then because you lastly salutation, because I went over before, you should be submitting a PDF and not a Word, always, always, always. I know that I'm not sure if you're familiar with how you can add a signature to PDFs, but we recommend doing that so it's just a little bit more personable, but you'd add that in between the sincerely name that you typed below. Does anyone have any questions about the signature feature?
Yeah, how exactly do you do that?
Yeah, I'll show you. 1 second. So I'll just put it on this one. Can you see my screen?
My action. That's why whenever I eat peanuts, I'm just like, that's
Okay, so I would click on the top. It says sign document, and you can like have your own signature that Adobe gets for you. I don't know how, but you just click on that, add it in there, and then you're good to go. Did I answer your question? I hope I did.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, nope. I think they said yes, they're recording it.
I had another question about the
Yeah.
resume as well. So if you have like a LinkedIn account already, is it fine to like use or copy and paste stuff from the LinkedIn, or should we use different language?
So what do you mean? Like put stuff from your resume on your LinkedIn or LinkedIn to resume?
Yeah, like LinkedIn to resume, because I have a LinkedIn account and I have like some descriptions of work experience and stuff, but I need to like redo the resume. So if I like copy and paste those descriptions into the resume, is that fine, or should I use different like language to describe what I was doing?
Sorry, yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's exactly what I did actually. When I wrote my resume, I went to go update my LinkedIn and I just copied and pasted everything from there. So that's perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And then here are just some final tips and reminders. Wait, did I go over that slide? Yeah. Final tips and reminders for the cover letter. Always write the cover letter for a specific position. I know it's very tempting to want to write like one cover letter and then when you're applying for a different job, maybe submit it or like edit a few things, but it takes more work to do that in my opinion. So it's just better if you go through and like rewrite one for each one. Use experiences that show that you've gone above and beyond. So try and use different experiences or different skills for each cover letter. Make sure that you're reviewing the job and internship posting and again, highlighting those key skills, looking at the keywords that they're using in the job posting and making sure that you're highlighting that on your resume and your cover letter so that you're getting a call back. So you're going through the job scanner without getting like automatically spit out. And then just making sure you're following up on all applications, follow up with recruiters. If you're applying on Handshake, I highly recommend following up with them on Handshake. And if they don't respond, let someone at Toppel know because they pay a lot of money to be posted on Handshake. So if they're not following up with you, it's kind of a waste of everyone's time. But yes, always follow up. If you want to email them too, I recommend doing that, but just cover all your bases and follow up as much as possible. Do I need a LinkedIn? You should have both. Handshake is very useful, but usually after grad school, after undergrad, you should be using LinkedIn more, or honestly, both at the same time. It doesn't hurt you to use your LinkedIn a lot now because then employers or future connections can look and see everything that you're involved with too, and anything that you've been posting, any like job, career updates, just things like that. So I recommend starting to use it now. Handshake. No, you're welcome. Is everyone familiar with Handshake? Has anyone made their account? Wow. You're just saying, oh, I see someone raised their hand. No, oh my goodness. Well, I highly recommend that your challenge for this weekend to update your Handshake profile. You can upload your resume for online critiques, said that before, but you can also research. We have hundreds of thousands of employers, job postings that are posted like every day. There's probably like 100 that are posted every week. Internships, paid and unpaid, in person, remote, that you can apply to. Follow up with recruiters, of course, after you follow up with recruiters. And you can also register for industry meetups, career fairs, workshops, and info sessions. So for example, we're having Job and Internship Expo on Monday. Very excited. And it's all over. You can RSVP on Handshake. Actually, you think you need to RSVP on Handshake to go to Job Expo, but they had an engineering career fair day last Friday, and that was all on Handshake. Oh, sorry. Engineering career fair day was today. My God. And then here are some other platforms that you can use to connect and learn. One Actually, they're all really cool, but like I want to plug them a little bit. Cane to Cane is a mentoring platform that we use. It's open to not only UM alumni, but UM affiliates. So anyone who is affiliated with the university in some capacity, they can connect with you guys. If you want to get into a, I guess, industry that you don't have a lot of experience with, you can reach out to them. The cool thing about it, unlike LinkedIn, is that people cannot reach out to you as undergrads. You can only reach out to them if you have any questions. Parker Dewey is a great way to start internships. Short term, they have a lot of micro internships. I don't know if you know what that is, but they can range from a week to like a few months, and you just do little projects, and then you can put that on your resume that you are getting internship experience while you're in school. It's a great way to start getting experience if you're really busy with classes and things like that, and you don't have a lot of time. Big interview. If you want to prep for interviews, this is at Toppel, we're trying to transition to using this more because they have industry specific questions, about 500 of them. So for example, if you're applying to engineering jobs, you're not sure what they're gonna ask you. They have so many different like behavioral questions, skills-based questions. You can practice with them. You record yourself in like wherever you want in your room at like 2 a.m. Submit it, and then Toppel staff or the career coaches are gonna grade it, give you feedback, and then they'll send it back to you. Very cool. And then lastly, Vault is basically just a really cool guide to give you, if you're not sure what kind of job you want to apply to, you're not sure what you want to do with the major, you can look at and talk about the work environment, the salary range, any education experience that you have to get the job. It has resume tips, blogs for people in the industry. It like ranks different companies based on, I don't know, niceness, things like that. It's a really amazing resource, and they're all located on Toppel's website. Yes. Okay. It's called Parker Dewey here. It's on Toppel's website. I will show you right now actually, because it's really hard to find for some reason. So give me 1 second.
I think somebody had a question in the chat where they're asking, what's the platform that features mini internships called?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you right now. So it's called Parker Dewey. So what I do when I look for it is I go to resources, identity-based resources, search keywords, Parker. I don't know why it's not showing up when I type Parker Dewey. So get under Parker Dewey micro internships. And I'm not gonna log in right now, but if you're not sure what that is, again, it's just unlike traditional ones. It can take place year-round. They typically range from 5 to 40 hours of work and are due between 1 week and 1 month after kickoff. So you can do them. They're very short-term. Yeah, they're short-term, usually paid. So I didn't know that, but it's a really cool thing if you don't have time for a part-time job, but you also want to get experience in your field. You just log in to your UM account, and yeah, if you have any questions, you know, you email toppel@miami.edu. But that is what Parker Dewey is. Yeah, I had no idea it existed either. It's really exciting. Okay, and I'm almost done. And lastly, this is our last slide. If you have any questions or you just want cover letter, resume, critiques, interview help, anything Toppel related, come into our drop-in advising and meet with an advisor or a career coach during our drop-in hours of Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can also join via Zoom using this link. It's also on our website. But yeah, thank you so much for me, and I hope that you all are leveling up in your careers this year. I will send the slides to Isha in PDF version after this meeting.
Yes, thank you very much. This was a really lovely presentation. I'm sure it will be very beneficial to everybody who is here today, and we'll be definitely sending it out so that anybody who wasn't able to make it here will be able to view it. Thank you very much again.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
of
thank you
course.
for this.
you.
I honestly did not even know micro internships were.
Mhm.
Before everyone leaves though, can we like quickly do attendance? This is my fault. I'm gonna be submitting a Google form in the chat. If you could just put like your name and your email really quickly.
And we're not done yet. We have an activity planned, so y'all don't leave yet.
Yeah, it's gonna be a quick activity, but kind of like there's a few resumes that are in the drive that I just wanted to go over and give maybe more specific pointers on exactly what to do here. So while you guys are filling out that form, I'm gonna share my screen. Isha, if you're able, can you give me hosting?
Yes. Should I stop recording or continue recording?
You could continue recording. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, continue recording. And also, if anybody else wants to drop their resume in the drive, I just added it. The link again in the chat.
Okay, I'll be sharing my screen. So basically I'll be sharing some pointers, and if anyone else on the board wants to like add pointers as well, go ahead. Okay, so here. Okay, this resume is for software engineering. Okay, I'm just gonna go through it really quickly and just see what we could maybe add to it or take out. Okay, first thing I'm seeing at least is for some of these roles, I would probably talk a bit more about, like I'm seeing here with this solar role, you kind of go more in depth where you're talking about exactly what you're doing. You're saying that you created a decision tree, which is like great. I think a lot of internships that are like software engineering, they kind of want to know what you did at these roles, at these jobs. So if you're able to add more, and like especially with this, you know, Wind Tour International, you probably did a bit more here and just explain it just a little more in depth. And here, let me see. Also, I don't know, this is a thing I do on my resume, but I do tell them what classes I'm taking this semester and what classes I've taken already. So University of Miami, like apart from pursuing a BA or BS, I put that I've taken, you know, data structure classes. I'm taking a few communication classes. These are the classes I'm taking, classes that matter with the role that I'm applying for, right? So that they know, oh, okay, she's done data structures. She knows how certain algorithms work, like complexities and whatnot, right? And then, yeah, sort of like how you did here with the I experience. You talk about how you did a 6-week educational experience studying and interning. I would probably talk more in depth about what that looked like for you and what exactly you did in those 6 weeks, because 6 weeks is a lot. And I do like this topics cover. I think this topics cover, if you put that for as well, kind of just like what classes you've covered. But yeah, other than that, it looks pretty solid to me. Anyone on the board want to comment?
Oh, what I'd say as well, I think saying pursuing, that's kind of unnecessary. You could just list and say Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, like right below the name of the university. Also, with the spacing for this resume, I noticed that like you have freelancer, full stack web development. The spacing looks a bit different from the one at the top. So try to make sure like it looks a bit more consistent, as well as like I noticed that you have like bullet points as well as numbering. So you have to choose one. Is either you're gonna do bullet points or you're gonna, I'd recommend bullet points actually instead of numbering. And what else am I seeing? I'd also add probably the link at the top of the resume, add your stuff like your phone number, your email, as well as your LinkedIn and GitHub. if you have a GitHub account, and if you don't, especially for this is like software engineering, I recommend that you create a GitHub account to put like any projects that you have created on that, so that the person, whoever is reviewing your resume, they can actually see the stuff that you have done if you're able to upload any other projects, like personal projects.
Right. Kamani,
Yeah.
I did tell them to low-key take that out so that it's more anonymous. So, but yeah,
Oh.
for sure have your LinkedIn. I
Mhm.
know she said it was kind of like after undergrad, but for me, at least, if I do any networking, I swear, like LinkedIn is like the new phone number. Like no one is gonna contact you apart from LinkedIn. So like get that LinkedIn, and then on your LinkedIn, you can attach your resume.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Kavya.
Just that. And for last thing I wanted to add, this seems like if you have any personal projects, maybe you could add them as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I would also like to add.
Did you have a question or? My bad.
Can I go? Okay.
Yeah, go Zubair, my bad.
Yeah, it's all right. Sorry for that, but if you can see, like for the first topic, the lead software engineering intern, there seems to be an issue with the formatting, because like for the one, there's like pointed out like 1, 2, 3, and then for the rest, it's not numbered. So I think the formatting should be universal for 3 experience.
Yeah, I think one thing that they did really well is these like active words, like you put managed, analyzed, optimized, implemented, like these are huge words. And I also like the topics covered, because there is like an ATS that goes through this and checks if you have these keywords. And if you don't have these keywords, that ATS will literally not even send it to a recruiter. So for sure, these keywords are great. Also, I know here you say design an algorithm. Yeah, that's kind of huge. I would make this a bullet point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, anywhere else?
Oh, I wanted to add something as well. Like, oh yeah, about adding to what you just said a while ago, Gail. Like, as in on each bullet point, it should start with a verb. So like, if you're gonna have like, instead of having like multiple, like as you said, you have like analyze, and then you went ahead to talk about designed and algorithm, like maybe you should make those separate bullet points.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to the next one. Okay, the next one is for industrial engineering. Okay. Off the bat, what I'm seeing is one sentence, right? Okay, so if I'm a recruiter reading this, I'm seeing, okay, you were involved in this, but what did you create? You know, like what did you do? You know, it was from August all the way to December. What did you do in that time span, right? You don't want to summarize into a sentence. You might think, oh, they don't want to read this, but they do. They want to read exactly what you did on these projects, on these experiences, on these internships, right? So you want to write, honestly, like my resume is kind of like bullets, but they're like 2 sentences per se per bullet, just to really explain the work that I did, because you know these jobs want to see if you put in work at these experiences. But yeah.
Okay, so something else I would have to add would be to switch the order. I think education normally comes first or after summary, and skills come last, and then experience in between. So more similar to the last resume that we saw, and perhaps even take out summary and expand upon your experience in education. Because again, we're looking for action words for whatever search engine optimization software the recruiter is using.
Right, exactly. And I think also like you can always expand on education. I know a lot of people don't want to because they're like, I expanded on experience. But if let's say like you're a freshman and you don't have a lot of experience, you can expand on like your classes, like what you did in these classes per se, right? So like if I created a mini project in one of these classes, I'm gonna talk about it, you know, if I don't have a lot of experience. But yeah. But yeah, I like your skills section. That's one thing I really do like. That you
Gael,
have-
can you zoom in? Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good. My bad. But yeah, I do like this skills section here where you talk about like what you code in, what you've worked in, your experience with Microsoft, your languages, leadership. Yeah, if you have leadership, for sure add it into your skills section.
I think you talked about this before, Gael, but you could definitely like elaborate a lot more for experience. Try to be specific of what exactly you did, just so that they can have an idea of your skill set and what exactly you did and accomplished.
Right, exactly. If you're doing like involvement in creation of artwork, talk about that artwork, you know? It didn't take like if you give a sentence, imagine that like they're like, okay, this person was in and out in a week, I guess. But these are like months of work, right? So like elaborate on that, you know? But yeah.
Someone once told me that you need 3 bullets at minimum for each experience, and that you kind of have to BS it a little bit, even if you didn't do that much and you were just sitting at a desk, you should come up with some action items to show that you attempted to do something at whichever internship. And I like that sort of formatting.
Right. Like you sat at a desk, but you were staring at something, you know? But yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one really quickly. Okay, this one has a name, but it's fine. It's fine. We're okay. But yeah, I don't know if I'm able to. Let me see if I can do this where we could see more, perhaps. Go through it. Oh, okay, I'm seeing 2 pages. I don't like 2 pages.
Oh, I think the format got messed up because I
Okay.
sent it as a. So should I send it back as a PDF?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, okay. It just okay.
It was
I
one
got
page.
you. I got you.
Yeah.
No, sounds good. Okay. That's fine. Okay, I'm liking skills. Okay, my thing is, I don't know if maybe it's like the designer side of me. I just don't like white space.
Oh yes.
So
Same
it's like,
here.
so it's like if you're gonna jump down, it might also be like a formatting thing, like you said, right? But even if it wasn't a formatting thing and it was one sentence, I'm thinking for a bullet, have like 2 sentences, you know, just to make it look like you were doing a lot per se. Yeah.
Seem
and
like
just-
you're really trying to fit the stuff that you did.
right. But yeah.
Another thing you can do is make the bullets indent a little bit less too, so that way you can fit that whole sentence in one line and reduce white space in general and have room to add on somewhere else.
Right. Let me see. Okay, one thing I'm seeing off the bat as well as skills. I remember in a boot camp that I did, they said they absolutely hate when people say the skill level that they are. Like if you go advanced in C or like beginner in JavaScript and like SQL intermediate, just put like languages that you feel confident in, and perhaps maybe like worked in, and then put, let's say, JavaScript. Like I've worked in JavaScript, but it's might not be my most proficient language. But it essentially it's the same thing as having, let's say, like circles on your resume where you fill in circles. And I know people just don't like reading that.
Yeah.
They're just like, just put what you're confident in and perhaps put like what you're currently working in. But yeah.
And maybe have a section say proficient in, and then you list them out, and then like familiar with, and then you list those out.
Exactly. Okay. Any more on this one?
Let me see.
Because like
Maybe
other than that, I think it's
maybe put the honors under education if they're relevant to, like, one is relevant to high school, one is relevant to college, so that way it's associated.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I think other than that, it's pretty, like, I like it. I especially with like active words. I think as soon as you get active words on a resume, it starts looking better. So okay, let me go back and see. maybe it was this one, I think. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I know whose resume this is.
I know who this is.
I think everyone who like really wants to get a good resume has to look up this guy's resume right here. And it says try to guess who it is, but we know whose resume it is. It's the infamous Felipe, who is the past president. I don't know if he's still in here. But yeah.
Yeah, here.
Like I definitely use this kind of as reference whenever I'm writing mine. And obviously you can tell it worked, you know, this guy has worked at Amazon. But anyways, so what can I scrutinize here? I don't think there's much. There's nothing. So it's like
we can talk about good too if we are doing
yeah.
Wait, I have one thing. Are there soft skills listed?
There's soft skills.
I personally don't like the idea of putting soft skills on a resume because I think you should be able to have good presentation skills in the interview and everything. But that being said, I have sent my resume to many people in the name of getting it critiqued, and some people have told me that I need a soft skills section, especially in technology, because people do lack public speaking, leadership, whatever else, and that could be helpful to someone who's a hiring manager to see. I don't know.
Like it's like I feel like I get divided responses, like you said. Like some people are like, add soft skills, and then some people are like, no, just have the technologies that you do.
It's a very controversial take on resumes.
Yeah.
Somebody actually pointed out, Alex pointed out that he doesn't see the point of operating systems there.
Yeah, I know someone talking about that once.
Yeah, I don't see the point of it either, because Windows, Mac OS, I don't see the point of that.
I think Linux matters.
I think Linux matters, like if you know how to do that. But I mean, there's just the expectation that everybody knows how to use like our Windows or Mac, or even if they don't know how to use it, it's not a like high learning curve.
Yeah, I think if you're applying to be a software engineer, I think that's like the bare minimum.
Yeah,
but for sure, if you do know Linux, add Linux. But yeah, other than that, we could like really quickly, the way that this is formatted, there's no like white space, right? So it's like there's no white space, and you clearly have the 3 bullets of exactly what you did, and you've put it in such a concise way that like anyone who reads this, any recruiter that, you know, sees this resume, they're like, oh, they did this and they did this. Okay, great. And then also the reason why I really like relevant coursework, just to be like, I know, especially with software engineering, people don't want to hire per se if you haven't taken data structures. So having data structures on your resume is like a huge, like, you know. But to my freshmen who have not taken data structures, I would not include my coursework.
Because that might be, they assume that you didn't take it because you didn't list it.
Yeah. But yeah, this is definitely kind of like a reference for like really good resumes.
Well, I wanted to talk about the projects a bit, like especially for people who are applying for more like technical roles. Like it's very important that you show the different projects that you work on and not just like your work experience, because like they want to see that you're doing stuff like working on different projects in your like a spare time, or even like school projects. You can list those and give details of what exactly you did within those projects. And you notice that he has the GitHub link added as well, so they can, if the the resume viewer like is looking through the resume, they can see that you actually did it and view what you did from your GitHub.
Yeah, like I get a lot of freshmen who's like, oh yeah, like I didn't intern, like I'm like so scared, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, in these classes, you end up doing mini projects, add that project. And if anything, like write a lot about that project to a point. It's just like your projects is just such a big part that they don't even necessarily care about experience per se, you know? So that it's like, you show that, hey, I've had experience, using these technologies, you know, and I might not have the internship, but you could give me that internship,
Yeah.
you know?
Because you have the skills based on like what you did in the projects. And you could even make it like 3 bullet points instead of 2 if you don't have as many projects as right here.
Exactly. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna stop sharing now. And then do you have
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
I know there's this event on Monday on Job Internship and Expo. But you know, I said it on the chat, I'm an exchange student, and the fact that we don't have like a permanent visa here, it's kind of hard to get internships. And you know, like I've applied to some internships, and the first thing they ask online is if I have a visa, and if I don't, if I click on no, the internship like the interview is done. So do you have any more information about that? Is it worth it for me to go on Monday?
I think it's worth it. I know the situation you're in because I'm actually an international student as well. So I know I feel your pain. I really do. A lot of them do say that. But there's still opportunities for you to get an internship, because the internship that I did over the summer, I met the recruiter at a career fair, at the career fair here. So I think you should just still take the chance, make sure you come with a good pitch, because you want to present yourself well you want to make an impression to the recruiter. Make sure you prepare that, and make sure that you come with like a bunch of resumes printed. I'd say just like have your resume polished and then print out, I don't know, even 40 or as many as you can, so that you just give it out to the different people there, and you don't know what somebody might reach out to you after that, and you don't know. It's just best to take your chances. I think you definitely recommend it. I am an international student, and I got an internship through Toppel career fair.
Oh, so like print the resume and bring it on Monday and just start spreading it
Yeah,
out to
just
the
give it
company.
to everybody, and prepare a pitch as well, because you want to make an impression to the recruiters. You don't know what to just give your resume. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Yeah, go ahead, Rachel.
Hi, I have a question. So, I was wondering, like, what if you had, like, let's say I were applying for a tech internship, but I also dedicate my time to a leadership role that's not tech related. Like, let's say it's art, but it shows like a lot of dedication and a lot of, like, I guess you could say like it's a big time commitment, and it's still a leadership role. Would it be smart for me to include that under leadership experience?
Yeah, for sure. I think 100%, like if you're anything apart from a member in a club, have it on your resume. Like if you're anywhere on that board of a club, 100% have it on your resume, because not only does it show leadership, but it shows time management, that you can manage having a club and then also be doing work on the side and applying to these internships. So yeah.
Yeah, that's something I actually wanted to mention. Like, if you don't have a lot of work experience and you have like club leadership experience, you can actually list out details of what you did as like a leader of that club, or like any committees or anything like that. Yeah, because that counts as work experience somewhat, leadership. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and you guys can feel free to like reach out to any of us, like we're in the Discord, or if you're still around, and we'd definitely be willing to help you guys like review resumes or any application stuff, or answer any questions related to that. We're very happy to help.
Yeah, just hoping everyone is in the Discord. Or like in the Instagram, or
yeah, just make sure you connect. Like I think right now we have like the Zoom meeting link in the IG bio, but normally we have the link tree with all of the platforms that we're on: website, Instagram, Discord, everything. So
Yeah,
ensure that you stay connected on everything. And as well, we post internship opportunities in the Discord a lot. So you guys should definitely be checking those out. And we're going to continue with doing that for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I just added it to the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just added the link tree and it has the Discord, the Instagram, the Engage.
Mhm.
So just making sure that you guys are connected through like everything.
Yeah.
We have a question in the chat asking, do you have any tips for a legal intern? Anyone have any tips?
You know what I would do if whenever I feel like okay, legal is there any lawyers on campus? You know, I would find out if there's any lawyers on campus, you know, and then contact them and see if they have specific pointers, because these people are kind of like here for you in your development. And yeah, for sure. I think you can also like reach out to me and I'll try to see if I can get you connected with someone.
And I think that was something Joba was talking about earlier in the workshop. She was saying that you could try and get yourself connected with people, like especially alumni who are involved in the same thing that you are involved in. And then you don't know what, you may be able to get like an internship from them or something, because these people are working, a lot of them like in great companies. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. I'm sorry to cut everything a little short, but we're like way past time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
But
yes, it was great talking to y'all, and
yeah, I just
Yeah.
hope that everyone just like submit the Google form with their name and that email.
yeah. Oh, you should send it again. If anybody didn't, can you copy paste the link again? Gail?
Yes, I'm hoping it's that one. Yeah. It's that one. Okay. Yep.
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming.
No, yeah, this was a large attendance. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thank
And look
you,
out
guys.
for other events coming up. Yeah.
All right. Have a good one, everyone.
Yep. Bye.
See you guys.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Really quick. It didn't really have to do with like this thing. This is why I was like kind of waiting. It was just mainly about the e-board, like for the whole club. I like submitted like my application to join, and I just was curious whether like what the next step for that was.
Okay. Let me see.
You mean e-board or committee?
It's probably gonna be committee. It's probably
Yeah.
Okay, what you did was you probably filled out the DSC, like the member form, right? And then said that you're
And then I did the other one, yeah.
Oh, you did the committee as well. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to like show what you're interested in like going into. So for example, I picked like secretary and like something else.
And were you added to the GitHub? The Discord?
The Discord, yes, I'm in the Discord.
Okay. And which area did I assign you to?
I'm not sure.
Here, let me see. Every time I add someone to the Discord.
I think you should ask him if he was added to the committee channel.
Yeah, were you added to the committee channel?
I don't think so. Let me check. Should I be on Discord?
Yeah, send me your Discord name.
It's hold on, I'm gonna type in the chat. I don't
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Okay. Here, give me 1 sec. Let me search for it. Because like there was a lot going on. So hopefully I added you. If not, it's me. Okay, I added you to the committees. Okay, let me see what I put you under for. My bad. There was a lot going on.
And is that like a certain section of the, oh, okay, I see it, general and all that stuff. Okay.
Okay, I don't think, did you submit it like today?
No, I submitted a while ago.
Actually. Okay, that's my fault. That's my fault then. I'll check that out for you.
Okay, well, I submitted it, but like I don't want to like if you didn't get it or something, I can do it again. I don't want to like miss out on an opportunity because of that.
No, you probably submitted it properly because I gave you access to the committee. So it's just a matter of me like assigning it to you.
Okay. So what do I do from here?
From here, we're going to have meetings this weekend, and I sent it in the committee chat, but you won't know until I assign you. I'll assign it to you like literally like right after this.
Okay, so should I check the general chat?
Yeah, just be checking the general chat. And then I'll add you, and then you'll get the notification.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
No, of course.
Hey, sorry, I know you guys are, running a bit late for the meeting, but I trying to join the Discord, but it says that the invite has been expired. So do you mind if I just give you the username and you add me in the group? Well, I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Okay, that'll, let
Okay.
me see.
No, I can hear you now.
Yeah, give me 1 sec then. All right.
I can send you an invite link right here directly through the chat.
Oh, if you could, it'd be great.
Yeah, let me know if this one works.
Okay, opening Discord app. Username. Okay, I'll put mine.
Oh wait, is that Alex?
It is. This whole
It
time.
is, yep.
That's what I was saying.
Alex, how did you get the link for this?
Insta?
Yeah, I posted it on Instagram.
Amazing. How are you doing?
Excellent as usual. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Honestly, great. The attendance was kind of better than I expected.
Yeah, I was expecting fewer attendance because it's a Friday evening.
Yeah, I feel like this is like the second time we said this. Like our first GVN, we had like 65 people show up.
Yeah, it was a lot of people.
Yeah, I think the pizza had a lot to do with it.
That's true. But we hit like, what did we hit today?
I think like 40.
We hit
Yeah, like 47.
At one point we had like 43 people in.
Yeah, like 43, I think.
Actually,
So I think
44 at one point.
And there may people who have like joined and then left. So I would think it's about like maybe 45, over 45 people, close to 50.
Yeah, these are pretty solid numbers.
Yeah, like it's just like the next meeting should be good.
Guys, I've got to run. I have to go back.
Yeah,
to
same
school.
here. That's
But it was
yeah.
awesome to talk with all of you. Let me know what I can do to help. And Alex, it was good to see you and chat with you. I hope your real world job is treating you well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's very well.
I'll send you the times, Kavya. I'll send everyone the times.
And
It's like,
yeah, and send me the recording. I can post it on YouTube.
Okay.
What is it, Marcos?
Huh?
Yeah, it was Marcos doing his thing.
We say.
Alright, bye guys.
Bye guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wait, actually,
wait.
Jorge, did it work for you?
Yeah, I think it did. I see him.
Yeah, I'm getting in, but I only have the rules section. So I
Okay,
guess I have to.
good. I'll just add you to the members thing right now.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, tell me if you see everything now. It'll be like
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Okay. Okay, I got some reading to do tonight then. All right.
See you guys.
Thank you so much. This was great. I really love the meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, bye everyone.
See ya.
Hey guys.